There is right now, and for the last 3 months and 1 day, there's been a writer's strike going on. The writers are not at work. I mean, we really didn't feel any implications of the writers going on strike, except for like the late night talk show hosts. But we're starting to feel it. We're starting to see it. Like shows are shut down. Production has been shut down on a lot of things, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of us wondering, when are these two sides even going to talk? But here's the thing about this strike. The strike's been going on for 3 months, and the two sides have not even talked to each other in 3 months. Like normally you would think if there's a strike going on, the two sides are at the negotiating table every day, even if they're hitting their heads against the table, but they're in the negotiating room together every day, doing whatever they can do to try to get a deal done. But that has not been the case here. The producers and the writers have not even talked to each other in 3 months. Well, apparently that is going to change in 2 days, because according to a report in the Hollywood Reporter, the AMPTP, that's the producers and the studios and stuff like that, and the WGA are going to sit down and have a meeting. This comes us from the Hollywood Reporter that writes, the Writers Guild of America says that the studios and the streamers, that's the AMPTP, have requested to meet on August 4th. The AMPTP, through Carol Lombardini, reached out to the WGA today and requested a meeting this Friday to discuss negotiations. The WGA negotiating committee said in a statement to members on Tuesday, "We'll be back in communication with you sometime after the meeting with further information. As we've said before, be wary of rumors. Whenever there is important news to share, you will hear it directly from us," said an AMPTP spokesman in the statement. "We remain committed to finding a path to mutually beneficial deals with both the WGA and the Screen Actors Guild unions." Okay, so first thing that needs to be pointed out here is this. This is just for the WGA. This is not about the actors. The Screen Actors Guild is not going to be a part of this meeting. This is a meeting between the WGA and the AMPTP. Now, the question will become, that's great that they're finally going to sit down and start talking. Now that they've each had about 3 months to think about it, are they going to be able to come up with anything? Now, just as a refresher, I want to mention 4 main sticking points. Now, there are others. There are other details that the WGA and the producers are going to try to have to work out. But these are 4 of the main ones here. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. Signing your life away to a big wireless provider is kind of like being trapped on a roller coaster from hell. Sure, it looks like fun at first. They probably even threw in a free phone, but now you can't get off. Month after month of insane bills and unexpected thrills, like overages and surprise fees. If that sounds like your current big wireless plan, it's time to get off the ride with Mint Mobile. For a limited time, wireless plans from Mint Mobile are just $15 a month. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for just $15 a month. You guys know before I came to Mint Mobile, I was paying triple what I am paying now on the standard big wireless plan, and I will never go back. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get your new unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped right to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. And those are writers' rooms, mini rooms, AI restrictions, and viewership-based residuals. Let's go through each of those ones and why they might be problematic. Number 1, writers' rooms. The WGA wants every show to have a minimum of 6 writers in the writers' room for short series. Series that are going to have longer numbers of episodes, they want 1 extra writer added to the writer room for every 2 episodes added to a season, up to a maximum of 12 writers. Now, this is traditionally how it's been done. This is how the greatest shows that have ever been made have been made, with teams of writers in a writer's room, navigating and negotiating the future of these characters, developing these characters and the stories that they inhabit. That's what they do. However, the producers are saying, we want some more flexibility with that. There are going to be times that we don't feel we need 6 writers. Actually, sometimes you're going to get guys like Taylor Sheridan or some others that we're going to have a talent that just wants to write a series by themselves. That's not normal, but it happens. And we got to be able to have the flexibility that we can make a deal with a writer like that if we want to and not force a 6, 8, 10, 12 member writer room on them. Now, from my perspective as a fan, The more talent in a room has usually led to better shows. Usually. There are exceptions, some big clear exceptions. But writers' rooms usually work, so that's one of the things that they got to work out. The second point on here is mini rooms. Now, the way things traditionally have been done is that a show creator comes up with a concept and writes a pilot, presents it to a studio, and the network says, yeah, and they greenlight producing a pilot. And then if they make that pilot and they like the pilot, then the network says, greenlight, we're going to order this to series. And then they give that show creator a budget to go out and hire a writer's room with some super experienced, really good writers, some mid-level writers, and one or two entry-level writers, so that there's always an opportunity for new writers to come into the system and get some experience and build. And they get paid their salaries, they get paid their money. Now, the way streamers have been approaching this has been kind of bucking that tradition. What they want is a show creator comes up with an idea, pitches it to the streamer network, and if the streamer network likes it, instead of greenlighting anything, they say, okay, here's a little bit of money, like a little bit of money, pull together a small mini writer's room, like 2 or 3 or 4 writers, right? And script out like 4 or 5 episodes. And then we'll decide if we want to make a series out of this. Well, part of the problem is now that showrunner is just going to go out and get the best writers available. There's going to be no opportunities for new, fresh writers. But also, these writers who are writing this series in these mini rooms, they're writing them for a lot less money than they would in the regular writer's room. They're doing the same work, but they're getting paid a lot less to do it. And there's no guarantee that the show gets picked up to series, right? So this is something that the writers would like to see done away with. And obviously the studios don't want to do away with it. The third thing is AI restrictions. Basically speaking, the writers want assurances that AI is not going to be used to, create or alter original work and stuff like that. Basically, that the human stories being told need to be told by humans. That's what they're looking for. One of the biggest bones of contention is, of course, the issue of residuals. Now, the writers want viewership-based residuals, and that's problematic for the studios. Now, I've said before, for those of you who may not have seen me say this before, I'll say it again. When it comes to the writers and actors strike, on almost every single point of contention for both the writers and the actors, I'm on their side. Like, I agree with all of them. Like, I do believe in writers' rooms. I think a studio should have some flexibility to have a solo writer if they want from time to time, but I believe there should be writers' rooms. I believe they should get rid of mini rooms. I believe there should be restrictions on AI. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about residuals. Now, under the old model, right, a viewership-based residual made sense because the more people that would watch a TV on network television, the more money that show was making for the network. And therefore, they would pay out of that big bounty of money because, let's just pull a show out of the air. Let's say Seinfeld, okay? So Seinfeld will get a huge audience, and the more people that would watch Seinfeld, the more commercials that would run, the more syndication, the more licensing fees, the more people watched it, the more money the network made. And so out of that bounty, they would pay out residuals, right? To the various people like writers and some actors, they get residuals because everybody's making money. The streaming model presents a major disruption to the way that works. Because the way it works with streaming, the more people that watch a show doesn't actually generate any money for the streamer. Like let's just take Netflix as an example, right? I'm a subscriber to Netflix. I pay my $17 a month, right? So they make $17 a month from me if I watch 1 episode of Suits or if I watch 9 episodes of Stranger Things. It doesn't matter. They're just making that $17 off me. It actually makes Netflix more money if I don't watch more shows than that. Isn't that weird? Like, that's a totally opposite thing of the way it used to work under network television. So to the studios, it's like, well, wait a minute. If we're paying out residuals based on viewership numbers, in the old model, that was fine because the more people that watched something, the more money we were making. Under our current model, that doesn't work for us. A viewership-based residual that will cost us money. It's going to motivate us to not have popular old shows on there because we'll save money by not having them there. So it's something that they've all got to figure out. They got to figure this out. But the one thing that is clear is that the old viewership-based residuals does not work in the new world. It just doesn't. It's like, I don't know, trying to apply the rules of communication rules of old rotary phones compared to today when we got, Samsungs and iPhones. Same rules don't apply. Got to be changed up. But look, whether you're talking about writer's room, mini rooms, AI restrictions, or viewership-based residuals, the good news is the two sides are at least sitting down because nothing's going to be accomplished if they don't. And I don't care if it takes another 3 or 4 months. As long as they're in the room together talking, I think there's some hope. All right. Guys, question is for you. What do you think about this whole thing? Are you encouraged? I'm encouraged that the writers and the producers are finally going to sit down in a room together and actually start negotiating. Do you think this could be the harbinger of a deal coming soon? Maybe you still feel it's going to take forever. Maybe you think this is just a waste of time that they're talking at all. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you do the standard like and subscribe thing. And also don't forget, we have a daily podcast known as the John Campea Show podcast. You can find it on your favorite podcasting app of choice like Apple or Spotify. Go subscribe to it today.